Module 3. Effective behavior support at school leads to a better education for all students. All parents want their children to succeed in school. When a child feels safe and understands what is expected, more time and energy can be spent on learning. Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports, or PBIS, is a system that helps all children improve their behavior at school, at home, and in the community. In 1992, the Utah State Office of Education developed guidelines titled Least Restrictive Behavioral Interventions to enhance the capacity of Utah schools to provide the best behavioral supports for all students. Utah's Least Restrictive Behavioral Interventions, or LRBI, uses proactive strategies to define, teach, and support appropriate behaviors. The guidelines are based on the belief that appropriate behaviors can be taught school-wide. A positive school environment creates a safe environment where students can focus on learning. This presentation will describe school-wide PBIS, its benefit to students and schools, and how parents can be involved. School-wide PBIS is a research-based approach that improves educational outcomes for all students by creating a learning environment that is positive and predictable. By creating a school-wide system of instruction and support that emphasizes appropriate behavioral expectations, teachers can spend more time in academic instruction and reduce the time spent on classroom management. Children feel safe at school when educators have a consistent response to problem behaviors as well as to teaching and recognizing appropriate behaviors. A student is more likely to feel welcomed and committed to a school when the school climate is positive and when academic success is a direct result of increased instructional time. Adopted by an entire school or district, school-wide PBIS is a system of interventions that define, teach, and support appropriate behaviors. The result is a positive school environment where all children can feel safe and learn. It is based on the assumption that behavior can be taught like academics can be taught. Research shows that students feel safer when they have positive, predictable school environments. When students understand the rules and have been taught the expectations, there is less guesswork about how to behave. As a result, they have more time and energy to spend on increasing their academic performance. Increased academic instruction and more time spent on learning contributes to the likelihood of achieving higher test results. Research also shows that while punishment may temporarily stop misbehavior, it does not teach children how to get their needs met. By teaching students a replacement behavior, they will have more appropriate ways to get their needs met. In a traditional school environment, classroom management styles and discipline strategies vary from teacher to teacher. School safety typically is based on either individual reactions to problem behavior or implementation of a broad set of discipline policies set by the school. Administrators are used as enforcers of rules, and behavior is controlled rather than taught. With PBIS, discipline is consistent and based on prevention rather than reaction to behavior problems. Staff anticipates and plans for student problems by teaching behavioral skills across all environments. This includes the classroom, the lunchroom, hallways, playground, buses, anywhere the student may be during the school day. When a school decides to implement school-wide PBIS, a coach and team will meet to develop positively stated, observable, and measurable rules that embrace the school's values. To keep this process manageable, it is best to have no more than 5 rules at one time. For example, one school might choose a rule that says, "I will respect myself, others, and property." In that case, the school-wide PBIS team would identify what respect means in a school. Respecting oneself in the hallway might mean passing on the right side and closing your locker door. Respecting others in the hallway might mean not pushing and using a low voice tone. Respecting property in the hallway might mean picking up a candy wrapper even if it is not yours. By talking with students about what this rule means, providing positive and negative examples, teaching and reteaching the concept of respect, students eventually will understand the idea and use it in their everyday school life, from the classroom to the hallway to the lunchroom to the playground. 2 of the most important aspects of PBIS are stating expectations in a positive way and recognizing the behavior when it occurs. Research shows that positive recognition must be given over negative reinforcement at least 4 times to 1 for behavior change to occur. For example, saying, "I appreciate you picking up that candy wrapper in the hallway, even though it wasn't yours," provides immediate recognition for a student doing the preferred behavior. Just as teaching students a behavior is important, so is developing a system of carefully planned incentives that recognize when children are meeting expectations. Some schools create immediate recognition slips that students can accumulate both individually and for their classroom. The classroom with the largest number of recognition slips may get a pizza lunch, recognition in a school assembly, an activity with the principal, access to a preferred activity, or some other planned incentive. Likewise, it is essential to develop a system of carefully planned consequences to be in place when violations of the expected behavior occur. If a student is caught littering, for example, a planned consequence could include meeting with the custodian to clean the hallway after school. A planned consequence needs to include teaching the replacement behavior. Research on human behavior shows that students learn better ways of behaving by being taught directly and receiving immediate positive feedback. Shaming, punishing, or giving consequences does not create good behavior and may, in fact, contribute to bad behavior. The Utah State Office of Education has a board rule that states, "Each school district or school and each charter school shall develop and implement a board-approved, comprehensive school district, school, or charter school plan or policy for student and classroom management and school discipline." This means all Utah schools have a state initiative to promote and implement behavior practices that create a framework for student success. Districts in Utah seeking professional coaching in developing a district-wide PBIS plan can contact the Utah Personnel Development Center for training and mentoring. This district-wide coaching model is called Utah's Multi-Tiered System of Supports and promotes a proactive approach of preventing inappropriate behaviors by teaching and rewarding positive behaviors. Under the model, schools keep track of what works and then build upon success. To find out if your child's school participates in Utah's multi-tiered system of supports, ask the school administrator. Ask too how you can help move your school or school district toward the implementation of school-wide positive behavior interventions and supports. As a parent, you can be involved in school-wide PBIS by speaking to your school administrator about the value of school or district-wide PBIS, provide information about Utah's multi-tiered system of supports, and encourage your school's participation in this valuable coaching program. For information about this coaching program, go to the website of the Utah Personnel Development Center at www.updc.org. You can also find information sheets on PBIS by going to the Utah Parent Center website or attending one of our workshops. Educate other parents and professionals on school-wide PBIS. Emphasize the model improves school climate for all students and increases learning opportunities. You might ask your parent-teacher organization to invite someone to speak on the topic. If your school is already implementing school-wide PBIS, you could be a parent advisor on the school team or serve as a liaison between school and home to give parents information and share support. Follow through using PBIS at home. When used consistently and across all settings, positive behavior interventions and supports can dramatically change problem behaviors.